Join us now, the head coach of the newly crowned 6A state champion Lady Cats volleyball team. It's Laura Crow. Coach, congrats on another state title. Can you take us through this past week or the week of the state tournament leading into the championship game? I know there were some crazy highs and lows in there, but overall it was just an incredible journey. Walk us through that week.
Um, yeah, it was fun. It was a real fun week. It's always hard when you're traveling to Northwest Arkansas for state tournament. Anytime you're taking a team, moving a lot of kids around and things like that, having to plan the meals, the hotel reservations and all the things. But I knew, when things were kind of finalizing towards the end of our season with conference finishes and things like that. I had the bracket um, printed on my marker board and was kind of looking like, okay, if we play the 4 seed, that's going to be Harbor at Harbor. And, more than likely, that's kind of where I was kind of thinking because they had to play the first day to get to continue to play. But based on just where everybody was finishing, looking at records and things like that, I thought that could be a serious possibility. And a few years ago, when Coach Fason's sister was a senior, we played a brutal 5-set match and state tournament at Harbor with the entire school there. And I saw the time for that game and I thought we've got to get our kids up there. They've got to see what it's going to be like to play in this gym should Harbor win and we have to play them the next day. So the first point for that uh, game was made by Harbor and their student section just went wild. And I had some girls turn around and look at me and big eyes like, whoa, it is loud in here. And I said, and this is maybe what we're playing in tomorrow, so you guys need to get ready for this. So anyway, so that did happen and we made it through that one. And then of course we got to take on Fayetteville and got 2 sets down to them. And then the night before, I'll tell you all a funny story. You'll appreciate this. At 1:30 in the morning, our alarms went off on our phone, and there was a tornado warning. We were staying in a hotel in Fayetteville, and so we had to get the girls up and bring them to the hotel kitchen with no windows and that kind of stuff. And so everybody was halfway asleep, but we kind of looked back and we're like, yeah, it was just, I mean, part of all the things. And so anyway, so we got to play Fayetteville that day, and we're down 2 sets. Um, and that's hard. That's hard to come back from any time in volleyball, much less at the state tournament when the nerves are kicking in high gear and you're playing a tough team. But I feel like the adrenaline kicked in our kids, and we were able to get the next 2 sets. And we had some net calls and things like that in the 5th set, and tried to fix what was going on there. And somehow our kids rallied back. That was Halloween night, and my son was watching at home, and he said, "I left after the 2nd set, Mom." He said, "I was afraid you guys were going to lose, and I didn't want to see it." And he said, "I came back in the 5th set, and everybody at the house was cheering." And he said, "We got to see you win," and he was just excited for the girls. And um, it was a good time. Yeah, and so anytime, like I said, you're traveling and you have the challenges of trying to fill the time while you wait to play, and all the nerves and the anxiety and the excitedness to play in the state tournament. But I just can't say how proud I am of our girls. The entire team was so focused that week, just really into game film, watching game film, and that kind of stuff. So Thursday, I think I walked in my house. Well, it was really Friday morning at 1 o'clock in the morning. We got back from Springdale, and then of course, that night we had a team dinner at the Cabin Talks house. A couple of girls on our team, Madden and London, their parents hosted a dinner for us, and we were able to go back and watch the Bentonville and Southside game, and a couple more clips on just some different games with Bentonville, trying to pick apart what we could do to win that game. And the dads came up Saturday morning, and I'll cook breakfast at the arena for the girls, and we ate a big breakfast and headed down to Hot Springs. So it was pretty magical. So
Coach, throughout all of 6A play, y'all were very dominant. You lost one match the entire conference season, and that was the first time you lost a match, I think, in a long, long time. Um, can you what would you describe as the strengths of this particular team? And can you talk a little bit about the culture that you built here at Conway with the winning tradition?
well, I think I think our kids kind of teach each other. I talk to different coaches, and they run their practices different ways. You know, uh, the way I feel is we're all part of the team. We all have jobs on the team. We all have things we need to do. Some coaches will bring their kids up, and they'll practice their JV and varsity separate, and we just kind of throw our sophomores in there and say, go learn. If you play at a faster pace, I feel like you're going to learn how to do that. You know, and get better, at a younger age. And I feel like focusing on, some of our programs at the junior high and seventh grade, our coaches do a great job. They are working with those girls, and the club programs in Central Arkansas. All those coaches pour into the kids, so it's not just Conway High School or Lower Crow. It's a lot of people in Central Arkansas that go into to growing the sport, making everything competitive. This year our conference was a lot more competitive than it has been previously, and I think that pushed us a little bit to get into some of those 5 set matches throughout the year. Our schedule overall was extremely hard, and that's what I wanted towards the end after that state match against Fayetteville last year in the finals. You know, I was like, we need to be pushed. We need to get comfortable in matches that are hard. And so our record might not be the best this year, but it worked.
Yeah, I want to talk about your senior class a little bit here, and you talked about the championship game with Fayetteville a year ago, and how brutal of a match that was. You take it down to the final, literally the final few points, and then the adversity that they've had to play through, even in this state tournament run. Mentioned being down two sets in the semifinals, and then dropping the first set in the championship match. But just being able to come back from all of these things, seems like you got to have a really good group of seniors to help push through all of these things, and just talk about the impact they've made on your program, and some of the underclassmen and future Lady Cats.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, uh, this group of seniors is extremely special to me. We had one. She tore ACL in softball last year, Megan Wilson, and her heart has just been in, and she, bless her heart, she has not been released to play, and so it wasn't even an option to try to get her on the court any because I mean, we can't. But she has been there through thick and thin, and just been so supportive of everybody and helped us on the bench with stats in the book and different things. So, and I know that it was a hard year, but I'm so glad she was part of the team this year. I felt like Madden Caventock in the game against Fayetteville, she turned it on, and our team was feeding off of her leadership skills, and her sets were really good for our offense, and she was determined that we were going to win. Gray comes in and just keeps everybody positive. There's always some players, and I try to explain this to other coaches. They're like, why aren't you playing so and so in front of her? And I'm like, there's just some kids that when you put them out there, they make things happen. The team plays better with them, and Gray Denton is one of those people. They feed off of her. She did a great job blocking for us on right side. This year, she had to transition from a middle hitter to a right side and just bought into it. Um, Ava Gibson, she she had a poster blown up um, of the Fayetteville dog pile from last year, and you can see our kids were just kind of bent over crying on the other side because they were so hurt when we lost that match. And it's been hanging next to her locker in the locker room every day. And they keep saying we want to be the ones in the dog pile this year. We want to be the ones running out there. We don't want to be the ones on the other side of the net. And the fact that we even got to go back to the finals, this year is something that's really special. And that's what I was trying to drive home to our kids. This is just a really special experience. Um, Bishop Floyd, I can't say enough about her passing. You got to have the passes to be in system to be able to run the offense and her defense. And she's been working real hard with Coach Mason on, where she needs to be, what she needs to be doing, those kinds of things. So she helped keep us in system. And then, of course, Madison Durden did great for us. She played 6 rotations, and she leads us in aces. Great hitting percentage. Her and Ren on the outside were pretty dominant in state tournament. And then of course, we had Anna come in. Anna did a great job on right side and hitting offensively, and Sylvia in the middle. So, and then I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but Braylon Merritt, one of our sophomores, came in the Fayetteville game, and I had some of my junior high coaches going, "What is Coach Crow doing?" In the third set of the Fayetteville match, we pulled one of our kids that was a DS and put her on right side to block because we were struggling there a little bit. And then Braylon Merritt came in. Laura Wells went up and played front row and hasn't really played a whole lot of front row all year. Those are the kind of situations that you hope that the kids come through and make it happen. And it worked. You don't know if it's going to work, but you think we got to try something different because what we're doing isn't working. We made some changes there. And I was talking to one of my junior high coaches, and Coach Vidito, and she said, "I was wondering what in the world is Coach Crow thinking right now." So anyway, I can't complain. It worked. You either look really good when things like that happen, or look really bad when it doesn't work. So just super proud of. I felt like it was a whole team effort. I felt like our whole team was very connected throughout the week, and I'm super proud of our seniors and also our underclassmen that played and came through. And were able to make it happen.
She's the head coach of the 6A state champion Lady Cats volleyball team, Laura Crow. Coach, thanks for joining us, and congratulations again on your season and your state title.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.